Here's another video from the Dirty Model Desk. Thought I just got finished doing a DCC install on a brass AC-12, so I thought I would kind of compare all the models that I have. One of them is, having all three here gives you a good reference. So let's start. Up front here is the Intermountain AC-12. It's really well detailed. You can see all that piping downstairs, including some of these flex joints down here. Just really well done. The tender's fantastic details, fantastic starting point. So you're not losing anything by having a Intermountain, and it's got traction tires to start. So it's really a beautiful piece to start. The second one in the middle, without the roof, is a salvaged AC-12 from Samhangsa. It's also by Key, but you can get an idea of, well, maybe that's not the best way to do this. You can see the details on this brass model are quite decent, and you can see a lot of the tubing that's going to run to the back of the tender. It'll allow you to do close coupling between the two, the tender and the hatch, and it's a very pretty and reasonably detailed model. This is the one I just got done doing the DCC too, and there's some critiques of this model online, from Spook Show and all that. And granted, maybe in DCC it doesn't run the greatest, but once you put DCC and keep alive on some of these things, it really pans out. The last is a Key Nakamura. This is a Japanese Nakamura model, and this is the ones that you'll see on eBay a lot for various prices. It's a slightly older design, decent runner. It's a good runner, actually. It's quite heavy, but the design is quite different from your conventional brass. So just to give you an idea, we're going to turn this guy over. These wheels and trucks on the tender are all dead. It doesn't pick up. So the only way you're going to be able to run a DCC version of this is like here. We've actually hacked out the floor, put some screws onto it, and threw all the DCC and speaker components into it. And I ran all the wiring through the speaker deck right here. Reasonably well hidden. You can't really alter the distance of the tender to or in the drawbar. Maybe you could re-drill it and bring it closer. And here you'll see that on the Nakamura model, the front pilot has this huge amount of articulation, swings completely independently, so it'll do narrow radiuses pretty well. And front and rear is geared, and pickup for both wheels are for both rails is on the front tender. So that's a look at that Nakamura mechanism. They're great runners. And so yes, you could put the DCC up in the cab, but there's no space to put any sound. I've seen guys that actually notch and cut these wheels on a lathe and actually put the tire traction rubber, and this thing will pull stumps out. Not super detailed, but probably a really great runner. So that's a Key model. This is my typical Samhangsa one. I've done AC-12, 11, 10, 7, 8, you name it. I've done all of these all the way down to the 2s. And this is what they look like. So that entire tender floor will drop out, and then you put the pickup onto the left rails from the rear tender, and you can see all the front is right side pickup. The front pilot has far less swing. This is rigidly mounted to the engine, and the rear locomotive will swing quite a bit because of this motion there. Yeah, it's a double pivot actually. So, and the last but not least, of course, is our favorite Intermountain, and yeah, it's really detailed and it's got most of the stuff. So, yeah, if you can find an Intermountain, I would strongly suggest going there, and you can see all the factory pre-wiring down in here, and just all the details in red and all that. It's, yeah, once somebody decides to make something in plastic, it's really hard to beat, or modern day plastic. So that's about it. this Key Nakamura brass locomotive is customers, and that'll be sent out. This is mine from the salvage. People have a bad rep, give it a bad rep, but given the scarcity of the Intermountains, it might not be a bad idea to pick one of these things up, just because you could DCC it and have a pretty decent runner, quite honestly, and it might even pull better than the Intermountain just because of the weight in there. So I'll shut up and just kind of show you some of the details. Oh yeah, that back light on the Key or the Nakamura cab Ford is hugely difficult to get to. So yeah, depending on how you cut out that floor, putting a light in the back up on that is a little bit more challenging. And it's an older model, so the grab iron details are not quite there. Let's see if I can maneuver this around some more, so you can see the drive gear on the Nakamura model. But they're almost they're more robust, more toy-like, I guess. A lot less things to break off, and I think that's actually one of the common complaints about the Intermountain models. They are quite detailed. Yeah, but they have all the class lights. The Key does have, larger, goopier stuff. That's about it. Yeah, it is possible to DCC these things, so don't, if you find somebody that's capable enough to do the cutting and willing to run it, you can run motor and dual row. So basically you would do 2 pickup wires here. You just solder it, take it off the existing wires, run it to the back to your decoder, your speaker, and your equalizer back here, and then you run 2 motor wires and your headlight wires and all that up to the front, and that's about it. Pickup is not even necessary for this Nakamura. So there you go.